Avi Meyers, Northtown Neighborhood News Magazine. Catch us on YouTube. ntnm.org is your link. Caps24.org. We're big on community policing. Want to introduce you to somebody who's definitely made a name in the community, and he friended me on Facebook in the last month, and he's on the air. Getting to me through Facebook is a great way to do it. I'd like to introduce you or welcome you or whatever it is, depending on whether you know him or not, Craig Gernhardt. Craig, how you doing?
Thank you for having me on, Avi.
Good. Well, tell us a little bit about your background and who you are and what you do.
Well, I started out, moved into Rogers Park around 2000, and always coming from Uptown. One of your guests, you had Jeffrey on from the Uptown area. I was always active in the CAPS program and moving from Uptown to Rogers Park right around Morse Avenue. It was just to turn 2000, and we were having a good, crime, same issues we dealt with Uptown, and I, being an activist in Uptown to try to make the neighborhood better, it fell into my lap again. Wasn't expecting it, but. Started going to CAPS meetings in 2000. 2431 was my beat. It's pretty much one of our smallest beats in Beat 24.
Is that around Morse Avenue?
Right, it's the heart of Morse Avenue. Farwell to the south, and Lunt to the north, and Clark's our little dividing line. At the time, our beat facilitator was Kevin O'Neill.
I remember Kevin.
And we were in the 6928 senior building on Wayne. Okay, in the little room. 20 people showed up, okay? That's pretty much our CAPS meeting, and it's just like when I went to the, Uptown CAPS meetings. About the same 20 neighbors every month come, and they'd discuss their concerns of the neighborhood, be it the crime, street lights out, nowadays it's dogs running in the park, the whole gambit. And that's how I got involved in the community. Is first and foremost was the CAPS program.
Now, I'm not 100% clear on you. You're a journalist?
My background is coming from journalism. My father, back in 1976, started Gay Chicago magazine, print weekly publication, somewhat to what you do in your Jewish news.
Actually, Jewish Chicago, Jewish news. Very big, very important distinction. I fired the editor and publisher and owner of the Jewish News, and I never should have hired him, but that's another story. So very different paper. Jewish Chicago just comes out before elections. Jewish News is a weekly, and that's not me.
Well, print publishing, let's put it that way. He started a weekly publication.
Done community papers, ethnic papers, all kinds of stuff. So I like neighborhoods. I like neighborhoods better than I think it's more personal. I just like it.
And that's what Gay Chicago was for the gay community. It's their gay community newspaper. But Matt, back at the time, it was an entertainment guide, where to go, the nightclubs, especially around the holidays. A lot of the gay men didn't have families to go to for Thanksgiving, and their home was the Touche Bar when it was on Lincoln, or Little Jim's or Carol's would have a big spread of Thanksgiving, and they'd sit at the bar, and that was their family. How they found out about it was the small community newspaper that my dad first started in ’76, and when he passed away in 2006, it was eventually left in my hands.
Yeah. So do you still work at is this still going? Or?
No, I put it to bed, as they say in the business, in 2011. Advertising dollars were really tough to come by. The internet change, to keep my...
That's why I don't come out with Jewish Chicago regularly. And by the way, the Jewish News you mentioned is supported... I don't want to tell the whole story, but it's supported by other... It's been a money-losing paper for 20 years. It's been supported by other people for various reasons that I'd rather not say.
And so you understand, especially nowadays with social media, how tough it is to do a print publication.
Well, the best way to become a well-to-do publisher is start out filthy rich.
That's exactly right. Be a billionaire. Like example, what we've got with DNA News is it's billionaire Ricketts runs the show. So he's able to afford these internet reporters where you and I I, when we do the blogs, going back to me having the broken heart of Rogers Park, Morse hellhole for 8 years of running it.
I want to mention one thing. My friend Joe.
And is it legal to say hellhole in the stage here?
Yeah, no, hellhole. Anything, but no, just no, not the F word.
Gotcha.
Everything else is fear. Well, the S word too, but whatever. No, but Joe Santivani over at the cable place is the one who actually told me to check you out first. Because he actually lives probably in 2431. He's right on Morse Avenue. And he's like a very socially conscious guy. And he still is it still going?
I shut that down too. It's a lot of work to do that. And
it was a lot. I couldn't, as a matter of fact, one of the commanders used to talk about how admirable, I mean, he couldn't believe how you were able to cover all these different places. I think that was Sobchak, by the way, Sonny.
Over the years, a lot of commanders, they've really enjoyed the fact that was what we call just, the straight shooter on a crime, covering a story from, the time it was called into a 911 to going on scene, to taking photographs, to asking questions and, trying to build rapport with an officer so he'll be able to talk with you. But most of the time, depending on who the leadership was, it was, that they didn't want the story being told. They didn't want the blood and what was on the sidewalk or the person laying, in a puddle of blood, such as we had with Marquis O'Carr, who got, gunned down this year in the McDonald's parking lot. I was right there on scene, and photos of him and laying right in the sidewalk in this huge puddle of blood. It's just not what the public, the police want the public to see. But I believe the public needs to know this is going on.
By the way, I think it shakes people up in the right kind of way. I don't have a problem with that at all. Not only don't I have a problem with that, I will say this, that even though I do like our commander and most of the people in 24, I don't like downtown. Because frankly, and this has started under the Daley administration, they might as well, their transparency reminds me of the Iron Curtain.
It is really tough to get any type of information. These shootings that would occur on Morse Avenue, I would ask and request for, let's see the video footage that we have on these pod cameras that the city is spending gosh knows, hundreds of thousands of dollars on and promoted to lower crime, but it is not happening. The crime balloons to another corner, and now we've gotten so brazen where they're still continuing to do gun battles right underneath these cameras. And I've seen the footage of the cameras, and it's fuzzy and it's grainy. It's nothing like, quality that you're putting out here or that I was doing. I had the gangbangers tell me they were more worried about me rolling up on them and taking pictures of them than being caught on the blue light camera, because mom read the broken heart and saw the pictures, and when they got home, they got an earful.
Cool. By the way, at one time, I used to get just about anybody I wanted from the police department on the show, high, low, whatever, and I almost didn't have to ask permission. It was like, just rubber stamped by public affairs. The whole city, not just the police department, has clamped down all the information all over the place, and there is just no transparency in this city. If people, so anything you're up to now? If people would like to contact you?
I now, as you just know, Facebook is a great social media tool. You can judge if you're talking to a troll or not. And that's the problem with a lot of the blogs, and say like Every Block, is they get so dominated by people making up these phony names.
I won't even look at Every Block.
And they have arguments like me coming over here past the Ridge. I'm thinking I'm coming to West Rogers Park. Okay, that's what it's called. Sonny's got it on his Caps promotion, West Rogers Park. But gosh, you're going to get with an argument on someone for Every Block for 5 days, calling it West Ridge.
Yeah, it's nonsense. But in the meantime, so check Craig Gernhardt out on Facebook. We're out of time. Thank you for joining us, everybody.
And I hope
Craig,
you have me back, boy. We really didn't get to discuss anything we really were supposed to talk about.
True. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Bye.